Okay, so welcome back Year 10, our third video on our Smart Dance series. So after strength, stretch and stamina and maintenance is alignment. So of any of the concepts that we've looked at, you're probably the most familiar with alignment. So to begin, we'll cover our definition for alignment, which again you've heard before, but it's the relationship of the skeleton to the line of gravity and the base of support. So we're talking about you as the skeleton, the line of gravity coming down the middle of you wherever you're standing, and the base of support being the ground and your feet, or perhaps your hands, or your hands and your feet, depends on kind of how you're moving. Talking about alignment, we're making sure that we have that correct structural alignment of our skeleton. And in particular, we're really looking at that trunk, so the torso, the spine, and the pelvis. Because if we can get the shoulders, the trunk, the spine, and the pelvis in place, then most of the time the rest of it kind of follows. So, understanding our alignment of our main torso can really help. You should know by now we can kind of analyze that alignment by using what we call the plumb line, which is, of course, going through the ear, the shoulder, the hip, the back of the knee, and the middle of the foot if taken from the side. Of course, once we start moving, the dynamic alignment will constantly change. So, why is good alignment so important? Well, it's going to allow us maximum function of our body with minimum energy expenditure. And we were talking about stamina before when we were talking about our S. And so by using correct alignment, we're kind of helping our stamina as well, because our body will fatigue much slower than it would if it was in poor alignment. So our correct alignment is going to allow for our good technique. Correct alignment will avoid injuries because our joints will be moving in the way that they should be. And as I said, it will allow for increased efficiency of all different types of movements. Because we've done a lot on alignment, we're not going to go too much more into alignment. But your task will be obviously to have a quick look at your alignment analysis. So we've done this before. So we're looking at your just general parallel standing alignment, your turnout alignment, and maybe your alignment across a few different movements. If you have your analysis from year 9, it would be really interesting to put them side by side and see if there's been any changes in your general alignment. Especially if anyone has developed any form of scoliosis or anything like that. You can kind of see it. You know how to analyze your alignment now, so that's something that I want you to have a little go at. And then after that, I want you to identify what you see as your weaknesses in alignment, and then how you can cue yourself to fix that. So in ballet, we often say to tuck your hips, and that stops people from having that bent back spine. One could be when we talk about in ballet, the idea of like the Chinese burn, so the upper arm going backwards whilst the lower arm comes forwards, that kind of thing. So what can you do to help yourself adjust yourself into the correct alignment? Of course, with alignment, it's very, very connected to kinesthetic awareness. So awareness of your body's placement in space. And the kinesthetic awareness is developed through your muscle memory. So we must be constantly placing ourselves in the correct alignment for our body to know what that correct alignment actually is. So that's something else that you can have a little look at as well. Where is your kinesthetic awareness perhaps not quite developed enough, and where is it very developed? So those who've done a lot of ballet, the general ballet placement should be quite good, but then when you move into parallel alignments for contemporary or jazz, that's where you might be showing some inconsistencies, and vice versa. In summary, alignment kind of covers 3 things. So you're going to avoid injury, you're going to allow for yourself to be more efficient as a mover, and of course it's going to be more aesthetically pleasing, creating nicer quality of line for your audience. And that's about it that we have to talk about for alignment. So enjoy your tasks, and then you can move on to the 4th one, which is looking at R, RISA, which is injury treatment.